This video falls under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Pixie Love. You guys can call me Pixie. And today we're doing some fat acceptance TikTok. Super excited. I love doing these. These always do really well on my channel. They get me hyped and very frustrated at the same time. And yeah, it's a win-win for everybody, okay? Before we start, I do want to say I did say I was going to try to do Science with Pixie today, but I'm just trying to figure out how to present the information to you guys because I'm not really good at editing. So it has to be something that would look nice and clean on my desktop screen. So when I edit it, it's not a weird, like, choppy mess. So I'm probably going to be doing like a presentation, but I want it to look like, I don't want it to feel like you're in school. So I don't know. I'm going to figure out. But with that being said, hopefully I can get that out tomorrow or at least by Friday. Okay, we will see. But we're going to be reacting to another funny time video because since I've been spending all my time, doing the Science with Pixie, I haven't had time to actually find TikToks of myself. So we're just going to use one of their videos because you guys like them, I like them, they have good opinions, and they pick out good videos. So I'm going to cheat again, and we're just going to react to one of their videos. So it'll be in the top of the description like always. And let's keep it going. Let's get on to this. I'm pretty sure this girl has been in one of my videos before, and I think she's like that condescending person, like the one that put on your listening ears and put a bubble in your, like that type, that bitch, the fucking preschool teacher condescending bitch. I think that's her. And so I'm already like annoyed because I hate the sound of her voice. I heard her say, "Hey bestie," and I'm just like, oh yep, it's her. Like I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that's her. But I guess let's start reading what the person says. Okay. Or he isn't attracted to bigger girls like some people aren't attracted to smaller girls. Everyone is entitled to their own preference. Okay. Now, how much you want to bet she's going to go off about how, like, well, that's fatphobic for someone not to be attracted to them, and you're not listening to what I'm saying. You're oppressing me, and blah, 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 and blah, 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 blah. Okay? Okay, let's listen.
Hey, bestie! You're wrong. I think it's time for another adult pre-K lesson.
Yep, it's her. The adult pre-K lesson girl is fucking her. Oh my god, okay. Let's let her continue.
What do you think? All right, turn your listening ears on. Zoop, catch a bubble in your mouth.
Fuck off.
Good job. Okay, here's the thing. Having a preference is something like, I'm looking for a partner who likes kayaking, or wakes up early in the morning, or loves pizza. But when your preferences exclude an entire group of marginalized people, that's problematic.
No, it's not. As a black woman who's mostly attracted to white men, I would never force or want to date a white man that isn't attracted to black women. I'd be like, there's something wrong with you because we're bad as hell. But I would be like, you know what? Go off. Like, there's some people who aren't very picky when it comes to physical things, when it comes to an attraction. But sexual attraction does take a key part into relationships. And it's sometimes the first thing you notice in a relationship before you get to know the person on a deeper level. That's why a lot of relationships that start off as friendships are even better because, like, you weren't in talking to them because you were attracted to them. You just wanted to be their friends. You got to know them, and then you grew in attraction to them. That can happen. But, like, I would not want a guy to be like, I would not think this guy is fine as hell, super cute, super sexy, but black girls aren't his thing. And I would be like, oh, okay, and walk away. I'd be like, oh, you're racist as hell. No. It might hurt my feelings a little bit because, I'm really cute and he doesn't think I'm cute. But I'm not what he wants, so I'm going to walk away. Now, if they would have been like, oh, I don't date N-words and blah, like, no, that's a different story. That's a little rude. That's a little racist. But if they're just like, black girls aren't my thing, it's just not, then I'm like, oh, okay. It hurts a little bit. It stings and I get it, but you're not their type. Keep it moving. There will be someone who will love you, big or not. Those should be the type of people you're looking for, okay? Okay, I'm not even gonna bring the fact that she called her fat people a marginalized group and blah, 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 blah. That's why I brought up another marginalized group. Black people, one that we can agree that is marginalized. So white person or an Asian guy or a Hispanic guy doesn't want to date me because they're not attracted to black women, that's fine with that. That's fine with me. You know what I mean? Like, that's like, I typically don't go for black guys because normally not my type. Now, if there's a really freaking fine one who's super sweet, super nice and everything, maybe, but I'm in a happy relationship, so I really don't, I'm not looking for people anyway. So, but like, it's not my first go-to. They're not initially my type. Am I gonna say black men are ugly? Hell no, there are some gorgeous freaking black men, okay? They are. But like, my initial type, my basic type is white guys. I'm kind of basic, okay? Just saying. Okay. Let me let her finish talking, even though I just completely destroyed her argument before she had a chance to say what she wants to say.
Okay, that's not nice. That's not a preference. If you lump all fat people in one group together as though they are not very different individuals, that's fatphobic. Just like lumping all black people in one group and saying, I don't like black people is racist. And lumping...
Once again, for a sexual preference, if you are saying, hey, I'm not attracted to black people, that's not racist. It's just a preference. Now, like I said before, if you say, oh, I don't fuck with N-words and all black people are the same and I don't want to mess with you, that's where it's a race bias in it. And most people cannot want to date me with a race bias. That's fucking fine. But if they're respectful about it, then that's one thing. Like, no. And that's like telling a freaking straight man that if they won't date a gay man, that they're homophobic. That's not what they're into, okay? Like, if a lesbian hit on me, and trust me, they do, like, am I homophobic because I don't want to date a lesbian? No, I'm not into girls. I think they're beautiful. I will definitely have sex with a woman if I was single, but I would not date one. But I would definitely have sex with a woman. But as I'm in a relationship and not having sex with other people, when a lesbian hits on me, I'm just like, sorry, babe. Sorry, babe. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not homophobic.
All disabled people in one group and saying, I don't think people in wheelchairs are hot, is ableist. Do you understand what I'm...
No. 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 It's just, no. And here's another thing with what you're bringing up. A person in a wheelchair, a black person, can't change the fact that they are in a wheelchair or that they're black. You, at the end of the day, can lose weight. Like, you cannot be fat. You just don't want to be. So...
I'm saying?
Yes, I do understand what you're saying, but let me tell you why you're wrong. And don't worry, I'll be less condescending about it. To start out, being fat does not make you part of a marginalized group like black people or disabled people, so that's one huge problem with your argument. And second, the reason why all fat people can be lumped together and people can say that they don't want to date them is because the vast majority of overweight people have a non-genetic lifestyle trait in common, which is the overconsumption of food. You said yourself that it's fine to date someone based on lifestyle preferences such as liking kayaking, so why is it a problem to say I don't want to date someone with unhealthy eating habits?
I just want to add on that, like I said, I don't think there's anything wrong with not wanting to date a black person or a disabled person if that's just not what you're sexually attracted to. There are people who find black people attractive as hell. There are people who like people in wheelchairs. There are people who just don't care. And there's fine. Just because someone is more uptight with their preference, like, hey, you might be a little uptight, but like, they will find someone for them, and a person who's in a wheelchair or a black person like me will find someone for me. Like, there's someone for everybody, and we will find our people, okay? And we'll probably find multiple people that want us. So I don't need a one person that doesn't want me. I don't understand why that.
Okay, no, like, let's have this conversation, because, like, as a fat femme who has been out most of my life, I'm turning 30 in January, and I came out around 16, 17, tried to come out whenever I was, like, 12, because I knew, and my mom freaked the out, so went back into the closet for a few more years, but, I'm just gonna say this, and it's probably gonna piss off a few people.
I don't remember. Was this in one of my... I watched this TikTok. I have definitely seen this. And I don't know if I saved this and had it in one of my videos. I don't remember. I know it was definitely in one of my... I know I definitely saw it and was one of... It was something I was going to do, but I don't know if it was in one of my videos. So I'll say whatever I have to say again to this one.
But a lot of queer people mirror how cis men treat fat femmes in the queer community, and y'all don't want to work through your fat phobia, And matter of fact, y'all will deny it and treat us like shit. Because I've had it happen multiple times. Multiple motherfucking times. And I know I'm not the only one. Okay, so I have a TikTok going viral about the fact that there's a shit ton of fat phobia within the queer community. As if a fat femme like me wouldn't know what it's like to experience that. But there's a handful of comments of people going, it's just a preference, stop playing a victim. I'm not playing a victim whenever I'm quite literally calling out the fact that you are fat phobic.
But the issue is fat phobia isn't a thing. Like, and what you're pointing out, okay, like I said, I do think that there is something to the word fat phobic or whatever, if you want to use it, because I do understand that fat people are treated extremely different sometimes. Okay, a lot of the times, and there's some things that can be really fat phobic, but the way that and for me, fat phobic is more only just like individual bullying. Is when I think about fat phobic, that's when I think about it. It's like individual bullying, getting bullied because you're fat and stuff like that. And once again, I was never bullied for being fat. I was bullied for being black. I was bullied for having glasses. Yeah, not fat though. Like, I'm trying to think. There might have been like one girl who called me fat, and I think she was using like elementary school insults. So she called me 4 eyes in like high school, so it was really fucking funny. But like, when I think of fat phobia, that's what I think of, like the individual bullying that comes with being fat. But someone not liking you or wanting to be with you because you're fat, I don't think it's fat phobia. Someone telling you like, hey, it's okay for you to be fat, but don't sit here and push this misinformation that being fat is healthy and you can live a healthy, normal life at 300-400 pounds for your whole fucking life. Because the truth of the matter is that's not true. And that's what people have a problem with, especially with the fact activist community, because you guys are just so freaking, you're just like in everybody's face. And it's just like, yo, back the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, go away. But no, it's not fat phobic. And there lies the issue. And once again, just like the other person, you can change the fact that you're fat. You can. And if you don't want to, that's fine. There will be a lesbian who wants to date your fat ass. And I'm saying that because that's how you describe yourself, okay? I'm not trying to be mean. There'll be someone for you. You just gotta look for them. Might have to look a little harder, but that's fine. Look a little harder. There'll be someone for you. I promise you. Okay?
No one's playing a victim whenever you're calling out racism. No one's playing a victim whenever...
Not true. Because there are times where people call out racism and they're hiding behind the shield of racism to hide their bad behavior and becoming a victim. Like, a lot of Black Karen videos for me is when the person who is a Black individual is having horrible behavior like a normal Karen, and then when the staff doesn't want to accept their bad behavior, they're just like, oh, you're racist and I'm going to sue the... No. So there is a time when calling out racism, the person is playing the victim when they're clearly not the fucking victim. I have seen it time and time again. I've seen a lot of Black people use the race card just to get their fucking way, and it's disgusting. There is real racism issues that we have to deal with, and you being a Karen in a fucking McDonald's is not racist, okay? Okay. And just, like, I've seen a lot of Black people call out racism when it's not racism, when it's your personal own bad behavior that people have a problem with. Okay? Okay. So that's incorrect. You're lying right there.
You're calling out homophobia.
Also, another thing, I've seen people use it as a shield or use it as like, oh, you're treating me this way because you're homophobic, when it's once again your own bad behavior. Like, story time. I saw a TikTok where this girl would talk about how whenever she didn't want to go to work, she would look her manager dead in the eye and say that she's cramping from her period. But she is a transgender female, so male to female, and she clearly says that she doesn't get a period, but her managers can't say that to her because that would be transphobic. So she uses a fake excuse, knowing that on the internet people go wild and crazy calling them transphobic because she's a transgender woman who herself says she doesn't get a period, but she's using it as an excuse to get out of work. And as a female who gets her period, I have never used cramping as an excuse to get out of work. But I will say I don't get cramps. If I do, they're very faint. My little sister, however, gets massive horrible cramps, and she does have to miss work. So, you know, but I'm just saying, as a female with periods, I've never used that as an excuse. And I think unless they were on the level as my sister, I wouldn't use them as an excuse. It's just something I have to tough it through. But I find that really kind of wrong that you're using actual transphobic issues as an excuse for you to get out of work, for you being lazy. That frustrates me because there are transgender men that still have to go through their period and they have to deal with stuff like this. There's, you know, a lot of other issues you deal with as a transgender woman, and for you to create a fake issue for you to get what you want and fake cry transphobia is kind of disgusting. Especially since this person said that they don't get a period. Like, it's kind of disgusting. But, so there are times where people will hide behind the shields of homophobia or transphobia or racism when they are really playing the victim. It doesn't happen often, but it happens. It does happen. So you're wrong with that.
No one's playing a victim whenever they're calling out transphobia. And for the people who keep saying it's a preference, I need you to put your critical thinking caps on.
Once again, they act like we don't think for our fucking selves. Like, that's my thing. They're so fucking condescending. I sit here and I try to actually spit facts, spit things that I've seen in real life, talk about life experiences, and I'm not condescending. I don't talk down to these people, but to come and watch these videos and them talk down to me like I'm a fucking child pisses me off. And it just, what it does to you guys, if any of you guys watch these videos, what it does, it makes people not want to agree with you. It really does. It makes people like, oh, this type of person doesn't want to hear anyone else's arguments. They only want to hear their side of the story. They only believe that they're right. And now they're talking down to me like I'm a fucking child. Talking to someone in a condescending way does not work, and it does the complete opposite of what you want it to do. Okay? Just saying.
Where did those preferences come from? Again,
I don't know. Ever since I was a very young child, I've been attracted to white guys. I don't know where the fuck it came from. My sister is attracted to Asian men. My other sister is attracted to black men. Okay, and I got a sister who's attracted to women. I have a sister who's attracted to both. Like, I don't know where our preferences came from. It's just how we've always been. Honestly, it's how we've always fucking been. Like, what do you want from us? I'm honestly trying to figure it out. Like, I got 6 sisters, and we're all, like, basically attracted to something else.
Give you a minute. Have you Google? It's free. Takes like 3 clicks. I'm gonna go ahead and say systemic oppression. And
no, because I'm not gonna use systemic oppression as why a certain white guy doesn't like me. Okay? No. Nope. You're not, because fat people are not systemically oppressed. Don't give me that bullshit. There wasn't laws placed in the starting of this country to make you seem less than a fucking human. There are not laws that prohibit fat people from marrying other fat people. Okay? There weren't laws fucking created to allow you to fucking vote. Okay? Don't sit there and talk about systemic fucking oppression when I can give you history facts of how homosexual people have been oppressed systemically throughout laws in our history. I can tell you how black people have been oppressed throughout laws in our history. I can talk about how we had to create laws and stuff like that for people with disabilities to be treated like equal human beings. But there is not any fucking law that has ever been in place that I fucking know of that made it systemically harder for fat people to do fucking things. So don't give me that systemic oppression bullshit, okay? Okay. I'm sorry. That just made me really fucking angry because that annoys me. They're talking about systemic oppression and how they're... No. Fuck no. Just because fat people aren't shown on TV in a good fucking light doesn't mean shit. Okay? It sucks. It's hard because, trust me, I know I love when I see commercials with black families now and stuff like that because that's something I didn't see growing up. But that has been the least of my issues as a black person is seeing black people on TV in a good light. Okay? I had to deal with my great-grandparents not being able to be together and have my grandfather, who was a biracial kid, who was born in, like, the late 40s or 50s when interracial relationships wasn't a thing. I had to deal with my grandmother going through the civil rights movement, okay? And I have a family tree of my ancestors all the way back to fucking slavery, bitch. Okay? You don't have to deal with that systemic, generational fucking curse and having to deal with the issues that have come all the way back from my family being in fucking slavery and the generational curse that we brought down to each other generation after generation after generation, dealing with actual fucking oppression. Okay? You don't have to deal with that bullshit. So don't talk to me about systemic fucking oppression.
The beauty standards, Western beauty standards, specifically being rooted in white, skinny, cis, able bodies. Maybe let's unpack that instead of just being like, it's just a preference. It makes me uncomfortable for you to call me out on my fat phobia.
I'm done listening to her voice. I normally don't skip over what people have to say, but I'm done with her. I'm fucking done. So let's hear what Funny has to say, because I'm fucking done.
So absolutely nothing in these TikToks makes me more angry than when they continuously compare themselves to actual marginalized groups. Other groups like black people and gay people and trans people do not choose to be how they are. You, my dear, chose to be fat. Calling people fatphobic is not the same as calling someone out for racism or homophobia, and it's gross that you can't see that. And because you asked so nicely where people's preferences for dating skinny people comes from, I'll tell you that it comes from the fact that people tend to want to date healthy people. And having excessive body fat is unhealthy. This preference is consistent among all people, and that includes queer people, which is why these so-called fatphobic preferences still exist regardless of sexuality. It's really very simple. And yes, I did get that with 3 clicks on Google.
I might have a problematic opinion here, but what the fuck is not to love about fat women? I'm not gonna bash on thin people, because I just don't have. But why? Like, what is not, like, our bodies are soft. Like, they are literally beautiful. Like, the way our bodies are shaped, like, incredible. I don't understand. Like, I really don't understand. I don't understand why people are so, like, opposed to dating a fat person. Like, I get that the media and all this shit tells you, like, oh, thin women are the way to go. But
they weren't creating statues of thin women back in the day.
No, they sure fucking weren't. You know, and so I don't understand. And Terry says this all the time. And like, this might be problematic too. But sometimes we'll be watching The Bachelor or something. And he just gets mad. And he's like, can we turn this off? And I'm like, why? He's like, it's just skinny white women. Like, what is there? Like, what is that? Like, what are you doing with that? Like, what is it? And I'm like, honestly, I don't know.
Let's talk about it. Because I really, and looking at this person, I think we're roughly around the same size. I really don't understand why you're having so much trouble trying to find somebody. And something tells me that it's not because of the way you look, and it's your fucking attitude. Because, girl, my fat ass can go to the gas station in some freaking sweatpants, and I still got guys looking me up and down, like, checking me out, won't let me buy my fucking soda because he wants to talk to me. Okay? Like, it's not that guys don't want to date fat people. It's that guys don't want to date fat women who are fucking annoying and assholes and think that the world owes them a fucking cookie. Because that's what you guys come off as. You come off as that, like, everyone owes you something. Like, no, the world doesn't owe you anything. Like, it's annoying. Like, sorry, not sorry. We don't owe you fucking shit. And that's how you guys come off. You say it like, oh, everyone's against me because I'm a fat white woman. No, the fuck they're not. They're not. Everyone's against you because you're fucking annoying. You have a condescending attitude. You think that your shit don't stink. And people don't like that. Like, you could be confident without being a bitch, and you just sound really bitchy. Like, same with all the other people who've spoken so far. Like, you guys are annoying. And I really mean that. Like, you're freaking annoying. Like, no one, I would not want to be around someone like that all the time. That fucking energy is so fucking annoying. Like, and I have a lot of activist friends and everything like that. And even and I have one friend who I consider myself an activist as well. Because I like to speak for my community, speak for myself. And I like to, like, but I have one friend who, when I lived in Minneapolis, she scared me because she was like frontline in those protests. She had milk on her face because she was pepper, like, she was in that shit. And I was there during the daytime. She was there at nighttime to protect other people. Like, she wasn't there to riot or anything, but she was there to protect the actual protesters who was getting attacked versus the rioters who was getting attacked. And, like, she scared me. I was watching her story, checking in on her all the fucking time. But when we hang out together, and even though we're both black women, like, we can still have an identity other than just being black women, you know? Like, we went to something called the Black State Fair that will happen in 2020 because we couldn't do our normal state fair, and that's when a lot of local black businesses are able to sell their products. So we went to something like that, and, like, it wasn't just about, like, we were able to talk about other things, and we brought our white and Asian friend along with us, and they loved it. Like, it was just about being together and having fun, and we did not actually sit there and talk about oppression all the damn time and how everyone hates black people and shit like that. No, we bought shit, we took pictures with each other, we listened to music, we had food, and all around why also be an activist and being able to support local black businesses in our community. Like, but I can feel like being around you would be like, this fucking, you don't turn it off. You don't know how to shut up and just be a normal human being and not always fighting for your rights. Like, it's fucking annoying. It can be draining. And doing these videos, I'm only 3 freaking videos in and I'm drained from you people, okay? All right. I think this is all we're going to do because I'm already 30 minutes into my recording session. So we're going to listen to what Funny has to say, and maybe I'll do the second half of this video later on this week because this, I can't do this anymore.
With that, like, what is it? And I'm like, honestly, I don't know.
At the beginning of the video, she talks about how fat bodies are beautiful, and she doesn't understand why people don't like them. But the problem isn't that fat bodies can't be beautiful. The fact of the matter is that they just aren't healthy. You can believe you're fat and beautiful, but that doesn't mean you're healthy, and for some people, that's important in a partner.
Yes, I will agree with that, but I also, like, I don't think that matters. Like she said in it before, that people just want to date healthy people, and that is for some people, but some people also just don't care. And like I said, I really think it's these people's attitudes and, like, how they come off to other people. They come off, like, with a chip on their shoulder. Like, they know that no man's gonna find them attractive. So when they see a guy, they're like, ugh, already thinking, like, oh, he's not gonna find me attractive. Walk around with a resting bitch. Like, that's how you come off. And it's more than just, like, because people aren't healthy. Like, I think it's their attitude. I think it's their energy that they rate off to the world. They, like, I believe you feel people's energies. Like, I can tell when a guy, I can feel when a man is sexually attracted to me without even looking at him. I can feel the energy coming off of him, okay? And sometimes it's too damn strong, and I'm like, goddamn, calm the fuck down, okay? Like, you can feel it. You can sense it. And, like, I feel like people can clearly sense your greater than thou fucking attitude, and you think that everyone's gonna be against you, so you already have this fucking wall up, and people can sense that about you. Like, they can. Like, calm down.
Second, people used to make sculptures of fat people because it was difficult, and therefore desirable, to be fat. In 2021, it is very easy to be fat in most of the world and very difficult to be skinny, which is why we are no longer making statues of fat people.
Also, with that second half, I do think it was also, like, the goddess of love, I believe it is, or I think it was Venus, was taught to be, like, a goddess of love and fertility and stuff like that. So she was portrayed as a fatter woman. And just with over time it changed. And I think she is still depicted as that in some, historical way. But it's just like, I don't know if I would say I agree because it used to be difficult to be fat. But I think back in the days when those statues were made, the only people who were fat were kings and queens. And you had to be extremely rich to be able to get that body type. So they thought it was, desirable. But I'm pretty sure kings and queens would die pretty quickly. But I think the age span back then was just short to begin with. So who knows? Okay. But yeah. Like I said, I was thinking about doing more, but like I said, I'm like 35 minutes into my recording session, and I still got to edit and get this out to you guys. So I think we're going to leave it there. We'll probably do the second half on Friday, or I'll do one Science with Pixie, and the other second half to this video will be out this week. Whether it's tomorrow or Friday, we'll figure it out. I'll do the second half to this video later on this week. But yeah, like these three people just, I said everything I had to say about them. Like one of them, I literally had to stop listening to her talk. She was more annoying than the freaking preschool teacher girl who I freaking don't like. So yeah, but anyway, with that being said, if you guys enjoyed this video or, you know, enjoyed me or my opinion, make sure you guys leave a like down below and or subscribe. You guys get videos Monday through Friday from me. And all my social media is at the top. Everything is PixieLove5642. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.